first of all, thanks for agreeing to this Zoom interview. A lot of people are going to see this, and that makes me very happy. And I'm sure it's going to make a lot of fans across Japan and the world happy to see this two great minds in the trance scene, Tsuyoshi Suzuki and Electric Universe, who will be playing a virtual set at ageHa on July 3rd, come together and give this exclusive, deep and personal look into both of your lives. So first, Boris, I'd like to ask, can you tell us a little bit about your background, such as, where you were born and how you grew up?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for this invitation. I really appreciate this, and I'm so happy to see you and also Tsuyoshi, and it's a really great initiative, and yeah, really, really fantastic. And yeah, my background, well, I'm born in Hamburg in 1971, so I'm turning 50 this year. It's a big year. And yeah, I grew up in Hamburg, and well, then I had some time at an audio engineering school after I finished my normal school, and even already in music was always a big part of my life. And in age of 12, 13, I really followed already the streaming of, the development of electronic music and also electronic dance music. So I still have some of the first house records they brought out. I was in the record shop and listening to all the new music, and it was really hard to find new music in those days. So I've been following electronic dance music from even, House Sound of Chicago to all the way through where it's today. And yeah, I played in a school band, some keyboard, and then later on I went to the audio engineering school. And well, and then also the first trance parties came into my life, and yeah, changed everything actually.
Around what years were the first trance parties that you're talking about?
Well, that's a good question. My first trance party was the first ever WOOF experience, which also happened to be the very first psytrance festival ever, I guess. So a friend of mine, I didn't even know this kind of music exists and this kind of culture existed. And a friend of mine, and we were in Hamburg, we had a techno club and a club where the gay people went. And they've been all... in that times, we had two clubs playing trance or techno music, but with the audience, both of the audience were not really, I liked the vibe there and the music, but it was not fully my kind of taste from the people. And then a friend of mine said, hey, there's a nice party, let's go there. And then he brought me and was the first WOOF experience, maybe around 1,000 people near Hamburg. And Antaro and the guys, they brought it all from Goa. And they kind of started before that with a few house parties. And then they said, hey, come on, let's make a little festival. And apparently, I think at least 1,000 travelers came from all Europe, all the hippies with their bands and all the freaks. And I think that was the first psytrance festival ever on this planet. And yeah, through some coincidence, I happened to, be there, and it changed my life forever. So that must have been 1991, 1992, actually. Yeah.
Amazing. We're gonna get back to the parties later, but
yes.
First I'd just like to start off just a bit personal. What is a non-musical hobby or hobbies that you enjoy?
Well, personally, I really do a lot of inner work. I enjoy meditation. And life is a big process, and I figured if I put some intention and some energy into healing and self-care, the quality of my life is becoming much better. So I would say meditation and inner work is a big part of my life beside the music, and it goes together also in a way.
That it does. And Tsuyoshi, I think a lot of your Japanese fans are dying to know what kind of non-musical hobbies do you have? Because we always see you at parties, but we never see the other side of you.
Well, actually, it's my father used to be a professional baseball player, and then so I grew up with a kind of being a baseball player, but I couldn't because I was not really kind of talented enough. So I just gave up on it. But at the same time, like when I was 12 years old, I started to listen to Kraftwerk, all the electronic music from 80s stuff, and it was influenced by my brother also. And so when I was a kid, I played the baseball and then playing drums at the same time. So now it's my like a baseball watching is my hobby. It's like European guys watching football, like instead of except like not being in a party actually. So this is my kind of meditation time sometimes, but I do meditation sometimes too. I mean, Boris, like football coaches in Europe. So.
Well, I guess you kind of half answered my next question then. Boris, what's a typical kind of non-party day for you? Just a regular day in the life of Boris Blenn.
Well, there's not such a thing as a typical day. I think there's different parts of my life that happen in different days. I mean, there's one of the biggest amount of normal days is what I would say studio days. So making music, and which really saved my life also now in the last year of the lockdown, because I was not sitting at home only, but I was able to play here in my most favorite playground. And so, I mean, a normal day, I do a meditation in the morning, and then I go to the studio and make music. And of course, I mean, a big part is my family. I have 2 kids. So there's, well, a lot of family time also. And so this is the other part, of course, spending time with the family. Yeah.
Interesting. And what about you, Tsuyoshi? What's the life in the day of Tsuyoshi Suzuki like?
Well, actually, it's the same as Boris does. Actually, it's the except for being in a party, during a day, I'm also running labels with Hiroko, Matsuri Digital, and working on the labels, right, and being in the studio making music all the time. But in the other hands, also, I living with my parents and dogs, and I take care of it, and then I spend the time with them, watching a movie as well, and a little bit of the meditation, also just taking the video stuff and editing and whatever, these kind of things.
Nice.
Yeah.
I guess, you two can relate on the meditation bit then.
And on the music bit as well.
On the music bit,
obviously.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah. So obviously, music has taken you all across the world and back over and over again. I would like to know, what country or countries did you feel an especially close connection to? Like, I really love this place. I want to come back again and again. Did you have any of those experiences?
Well, yeah, definitely. There's different countries that really deeply inspire and enrich my life. I mean, India, of course, just because of, I don't know, we don't need to go much further, but of course, India, the spirit of India, and Goa especially is, a very special place. But I also really must say I'm a massive fan of Japan. Really, I mean, Tokyo is my favorite city. It's always been, and I always enjoy so much to come to Tokyo. And I also really feel the Japanese and the German mindset, they have a lot of similarities. So I feel very connected, and I really enjoy very much being in Japan. So this is definitely 2 countries. I mean, of course, also Brazil, because it's the main hub for psytrance music in these days. I mean, going to Brazil is always an adventure, because you can play 3-4 festivals in one weekend. And so, yeah, this is definitely also something very special.
Nice. Well, glad to hear it. And you, Tsuyoshi, do you have any?
For me, well, it's almost the same, I think. But I'm come from Japan. I'm always looking forward to come back to the Europe. Also, like staying in Berlin, spend the time with all the friends. It's the same as Boris. Is like Boris is also like looking forward to come back to the Tokyo, and I'm also looking forward to come back to Europe as well. It's these kind of things. And I've been traveling many countries, of course, but I don't know. Especially yes, India is very special. For me, it's because I've got a management in Israel, FM booking boys and things like that. I have a very strong connection with the Israeli boys. Many talented young boys and musicians in Israel too. Yeah, but it's just everywhere I'm enjoying it. So let's say, it's every country I'm enjoying it. So
Nice.
yeah.
Okay. We're a bit strapped for time, so I'm gonna skip ahead in the questions just a little bit.
Yeah, do it.
Favorite food. Favorite food. I just want to ask this. Favorite food. Boris?
Oh, well, I love ramen. Really, I do.
Gotcha.
And I love Thai food, also exotic food in general. But also, I'm very vegetarian, so it's vegetarian, good Asian vegetarian food.
Nice. And Tsuyoshi, favorite food.
Me? Well, if you ask me, I mean, like, if you ask Japanese people, they all say like Japanese food. I mean, like, we all think it's Japanese food is the number one in the world. But I quite enjoyed it that the when I come to Germany, like all this Italian food, even just German food as well. I quite like it, and all the meats, is the bread and everything is totally different from Japan. So
Yeah.
I think it's all the fresh cheese as well. So I really like it, and the wine and everything. It's very cheap over there. In here, it's very expensive.
Yeah, cheese is expensive here.
Let's say that.
Yeah. Okay, and this is the only natural question to ask next. What's your favorite drink?
I love good coffee. Cheers.
Tsuyoshi, your favorite drink?
My favorite drink is the shochu. Yeah, I mean, I drink wine and shochu. This is well, if you say it's alcohol, yes, but
Yeah.
Coffee also, everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's get a bit more into the music. I would like to know, Boris, the definitive moment that started your journey with psychedelic music and culture.
Well, we said that already. It's definitely been the WOOF experience. It was really a really significant moment that changed my whole life, because like I said, I was already for years following electronic dance music. And of course, as Tsuyoshi said, it started with Kraftwerk and the guys from the 70s. And I love Soft Cell and, Depeche Mode. I was a big Depeche Mode fan. So I followed this all the way through. But when I went out to parties in Hamburg, I really didn't have a place where I felt really connected. So I came to this party, the WOOF experience, the first one, and all of a sudden I had the music that I love with exactly the people that I felt just instantly connected. So that was the moment where everything kind of came together. And from that moment, it was also clear that this is the kind of music that I want to produce. So it's that night.
Awesome. And you, Tsuyoshi, I'd like to know the definitive moment where you're like, okay, I'm with psychedelic.
Yeah, well, as Boris said, I already said a little bit. I mean, like I grew up with the 80s kind of electronic new wave music, as like Yellow Magic Orchestra from Japan's Kraftwerk from Germany. Also, that the lots of kind of a cutting edge music from the UK. I mean, as Boris said, the Depeche Mode, I'm still a big fan of them. And all the electronic music already. And actually, it's when I started getting into this kind of music, I met the guy called Nick Taylor, who we all used to be together with under the name of the Prana. I met him in Japan, and he introduced me to DJ Kudo. He used to play every weekend in Shibuya, and this is my kind of started that time was 89 or 1990 or something, and he played it acid house and electronic kind of body music and little bit of that German techno stuff as well, and then after that I went to the Goa, and then I listened to the same music what the Kudo was playing, and this was kind of my start moment, definitive moment actually. That time was 80, 1989, 90, something like that. Yeah.
Nice.
So we and Boris is always time kind of same background. That's a little bit, you know, similar ages we have. So.
Yeah. When exactly did you two meet each other? Can you tell us about that? Like, and tell us what you thought about each other when you first met, your first impression. I think everyone wants to know.
Well, as I remember, I think I met Boris through Antara or Scotty in a booth experience that time, or even Sangeet, or in a kind of a Hamburg Sannyasin group or something like that. I can't really remember. I'm definitely when I was in already London after 92. Maybe do you remember, Boris?
What? I'm actually exactly like you are.
Yeah.
But I know the first manifestation of our connection is 25 years old now.
Ah, nice one.
This is Matsuri release of my project. This is Sangeet and me, Endora. 1996, man.
Yeah. Classic track.
Wow.
It was amazing.
I mean, and what I also remember is that all the girls in Germany were always like, oh, Tsuyoshi is playing, Tsuyoshi is coming, Tsuyoshi. When you were really like the girls, they loved you so much, and the boys also. So, but the first time we met, I really don't know. I mean, I'm like you, somewhere there. And
yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, we don't remember AJ. This now, but we connected this track. Actually, it's called Endora. It's released in 96.
Yes.
Do you have any like memorable, or I guess any crazy like interesting episodes together? Or you're mostly well behaved good boys when you're with each other. That's
we're good boys.
Okay. So Boris, your decade is pretty much your career. I'm sorry, is pretty much 3 decades long at this point.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot has happened over the years. Well, what's the highest high of your career? Kind of the highlight so far, if you could boil it down to maybe 2 or even 1.
Well, if I have to pick one really highlight, that was my last gig at Boom Festival, I have to admit, even though it's so obvious, but I had a really amazing slot and nearly everybody was there when I played. And it was one of the moments, for eternity. So yeah, if I have to pick one, it would be Boom. But it's really hard because there's so many other magic moments and they keep coming. And this is the beautiful thing now. So I still feel like there's so much to explore and discover. Yep. So, but yeah, Boom Festival is definitely always something very, very special. Yes.
Nice. And you, Tsuyoshi, the highlight of your career so far.
Well, actually, it's same as a Boris. I mean, like it's amazing things that all the first festivals is keeping coming in. So we definitely get the good experience, but so far, I don't know. Well, it's we've been so many festivals, so many parties, so it's really hard to describe the highest one. What I remember was Burning Man in 96 or 97. It was good. Also, as Boris said, the Boom Festival somewhere I played 2006 and 2016 or something. When you go there, it's like everybody there, and then you 100% no doubt having a good time, and you feel very connected together. So it's hard to say that actually.
Yeah, I guess it would be. Boris, moving back to when you mentioned Japan, I think the last time you came in was for the Sunshine Festival, right?
Yes.
That was, I think, 2 years ago. Yeah. So you kind of gave us a general impression of what you think of Japan already, but what was the weirdest aspect of the country? Like, That's weird. Did anything make you think that?
The weirdest aspect of
Yeah.
you mean the culture in general, or
No, just on your, yeah, or it could be, just during your trip here, you're like, wow, we definitely don't have that in Germany.
yeah, well, I mean, one thing which is kind of significant is how Japanese culture is dealing with feelings and emotions. So I find that really interesting because I mean, coming to Tokyo, for example, one of the biggest cities in the world, and there's hardly any crime on the street. That is something very amazing, actually. And so because people really behave, but it also has another, another side to it, that people get really kind of repressed by society. And so this is something where I feel like, yeah, this is on one hand really, really beautiful because it gives a lot of freedom and no hard crime on the street so much, like in other big cities like that. But also the people pay a price for that. And so once I learned that, showing really emotions on the street is not really culturally accepted so much in Japan. I don't know if that's right, but this is what someone told me. So this is something which I feel a bit weird, but also I understand where it's coming from. And this is what comes in for me in mind first. Then. Yeah.
And Tsuyoshi, I mean,
yeah,
you've been to Germany. Obviously, is there anything particularly interesting or unique about Germany that caught you?
Trying to remember that's what I feel. I mean, yeah. Well, actually, when I was in like a subway or train in Berlin, there's no air conditioning in the summertime, so it gets so boiling and like I just don't know how people can handle that. And then also what is a good thing is I thought it's everywhere, the shop and restaurant and even the train and everywhere, people can take the dogs and cat and like any animals is no problem. But in Japan is Boris, in Japan is, when they see it, like, no cat, no dog, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's this kind of, I don't know, freedom or something. Then not, I mean, like, so it's not the weirdest things, but I saw like amazing things in Germany sometimes, like, but
Boris, originally we were planning to have you come and do your laser harp concert before Corona really went full swing. And we definitely will do that in the future. But can you please tell us about how this laser harp concept came into being and why it's so special?
Yes, well, I was booked some years ago by a German company who is doing some sort of events and art projects on stage. And they booked me for a big show. They did the opening ceremony for the International Arts Festival in Bergen, that's in Norway. And they booked me there to do the electronic music part. And part of this project and of this show was a 3-minute laser harp performance. So this is the first time I got connected with this technology. Actually, the guys from this company invented this. They are really very much with the cutting edge of technology and stage performances. And well, I got, one of the guys became my friend, and I actually brought him to Boom Festival. And there we kind of said like, wow, how would that be kind of amazing to bring this laser harp on a trance stage? It was just some funny idea we had there. And then we said like, okay, let's give it a try. And we had here a booking in on a festival near Berlin in Antares project. And then we did a little bit, played a bit with that thing, and I did a track for this, kind of specifically produced for that. And then we put like a 2-minute video on my Facebook. And within 1 week, that video went viral. And I think it went up to 10 million clicks, just organic. So wow. The response was overwhelming. My Facebook exploded for a week. And we were like, okay, so this is something that gives a lot of response. And then we started to go on a journey with this thing. And now, you know, after some years now, I'm at a point where I'm very, very happy with this performance and super excited to finally now bring the show where it is now to the stage. And I also personally spent most of the Corona time really working on this laser harp show. So actually I produced a whole hour of new music, which is specifically done for this performance. And well, what is so special on this? It is very visual and it's really live. So I think, I mean, there has been acts before that did crazy live shows on stage and keyboardists that played really live, but the people don't really see it. I mean, it's really like on a trance stage, if, you know, if a DJ is doing something here or playing a bit of keyboard or something, it's many people don't even see it when they're further away from the stage. Now this laser harp thing, it's so visual and it's really live. It's kind of, for me personally, also a big challenge because it's becoming a real concert now. I mean, I'm trying to find a good doses with this, so I'm not like all the time playing, but really use it as a very special, for very special moments in my set. And yeah, the last 6 months we've been designing this show with my partner, also Roland, who's playing guitar in that show. So we are really we're trying to bring a real concert, which is still in a way danceable. So people who don't really care so much what's going on the stage, they can have their dance experience and they don't need to be involved in what's going on there. But at the same time, to bring something really live and really visual, that's our aim here, where we're at the moment. And we are so excited to, you know, bring this to Japan. And yeah, we can't wait that this crazy time is over we're in right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've only seen it on YouTube so far, but it looks and sounds amazing, and I can't wait to see it in person. And I'm sure all the Japanese fans can wait, and it will happen. So just wait for the announcement.
Yes, absolutely.
Moving back to you know, the topic of Corona and parties and stuff. The world has seen kind of just a huge lull everywhere in parties. Everything's shut down, and I think as a result, now people really have been forcibly reminded of the sheer importance that parties hold. So my question to you now is, how are parties important to you on a personal level, and also how do you think parties are important to humanity as a whole?
Tsuyoshi?
Yes. The question's to me.
Well, to both of us, I guess.
Both of you, but whoever wants to answer first. So how are parties important to you personally, and how do you think parties are important to the human race as a whole?
どうぞ、ボリスさん。
Okay. Well, I think especially psychedelic trance parties have a very significant impact on a personal level and on a collective level as well. I think really we as a human race are in a very crazy time right now with our evolution. Technology is exploding, everything goes faster and faster, but still we have a mindset of competition and we're fighting each other. And that's really destroying everything we have. I mean, this planet is the most incredible paradise I can imagine. It's just so beautiful, this place. And so I think really we need a shift of consciousness as the human race. And I think this shift of consciousness has to go into cooperation. And Psytrance Festival, I mean, electronic music festivals in general, but particularly Psytrance festivals are, in my understanding, really celebrating a new kind of consciousness. Like people are coming together in peace, in appreciation of the diversity. The women can feel safe. There are no fights at all. And I think this is really, really important. So I think on a collective level, this is really what is needed everywhere. This kind of spirit that we come together, appreciate each other and, you know, look to build a brighter future for everyone. So, and I think also on a personal level, I think psychedelic experience have a deep healing potential. And so psytrance parties can really, if handled well, really elevate a person and really, you know, make possible openings and can be an inspiration to a better life. That's what, yeah, this is what I think actually.
Wow, you pretty much said everything I was hoping to hear. Tsuyoshi, anything to add?
Well, I think it's the Boris and, you know, Dr. Boris is saying everything is, you know, what I wanted to say, but it's in the human race wise, I think is now is the many, it's so much kind of the like digital kind of technologies like internet and like virtual life and things like that. But you know, when you see like a face to face, like when you come to the party and talking to the people, connected to people and smiling to people, and it makes you feel totally different. So like I think it's the party is I think it's people need to dance, and like people's been dancing like in the ancient ages, like 10 years ago, 20,000 years ago already, and making a festival Matsuri, that's what they call. And I think it's the eternity is people need to dance. So I think it's for like for us to make like greeting each other like you know, directly each other. I think it's the most important things for human race wise. But personally, as especially psychedelic music, psychedelic things, that's I don't know. I think I call psychedelic is consciousness, and it's personally this is what I grew up with. So you know, so sorry. That's what I say.
Bravo. Okay. By the way, you recently released a compilation called Japan Calling. Could you tell us a little bit about this compilation?
Japan Calling?
Yes.
Yes. Well, the starting was the FM booking. Eliana, owner of the FM booking, he started just to ask me, "Hey, Tsuyoshi, let's do something while you're doing like COVID and staying home. Like, you know, what you're doing." And then the idea was from him, like, "Hey, let's do something only just a Japanese producer, the people who." In the world, people who don't know yet. I mean, if you want to introduce to the world, and then, you know, just do it. And this was the concept actually, because the Japanese artists, we know that in Japan, but they are not really, you know, well known in the world yet because of that, like a Japanese market, those things like this. So you know, the concept was to introduce, like, you know, young artists to, you know, like even just you know, the enough career artists, but not so much well known to the world. So this is kind of things, and then also Japanese culture a little bit as well.
Yeah. And just as a side note, Cylon, a track from Cylon, is also featured on that compilation. Boris, have you ever heard of Cylon?
Yeah, absolutely. I love Takeo's stuff. Absolutely.
Right, nice.
I think he deserves way more exposure. I really love the Japanese music that's coming in the last years. And I mean, it's also funny. I would like to say a few words about also the Sunshine Festival that I played now.
Yes, please.
Twice. So, I mean, for me, it was really amazing to see the transition of the Japanese scene. I mean, it was very, very big some years ago, and then it all of a sudden nearly like stopped.
Yes.
And now the last few years, there seems to be the core of the core coming together again. And honestly, the last two gigs of Sunshine Festival were the way best I ever had in Japan. I mean, these two gigs, I will never forget them. I still get goosebumps when I think about these gigs. I mean, the crowd there, I must really say, and there's no bullshit, the Japanese crowd in these days is so much my favorite crowd of all times. I mean, I got this beautiful gift here from, I don't know who made this, you know. I mean, this is someone gave me on the stage in Sunshine Festival, and they were on the dance floor with this. I mean, like, this is one of the most beautiful things I ever got as a gift on a party. I mean, this is having a really, I mean, whoever did that, thank you so much. It has a very special place here in my studio. So yeah, I love what's going on in Japan. And on the music side, I had a big moment in Universo Parallelo like 5 years ago, I think, something like that. And Hata was playing a DJ set. And man, I mean, that was, I never heard him before playing. And this was one of the best DJ sets I've ever heard. And I connected to him after that because I wanted to know what it was. And he said like, well, this was mainly Japanese artists. And I was like, wow, okay. So the music from Japan in these days is super, super amazing. I mean, Cylon is super, super killer act. Also Spectrasonics is really good. I mean, they did amazing, he did an amazing remix with Faders recently for my track Millennia, which was a big success. And so there's so much good stuff happening in Japan. And I really, really hope the crowd now is, you know, growing a bit more and gets more stable and bring new kids, but good kids, you know, good people to keep the spirit. The spirit is so pure at the moment in Japan. So that's what I can say about that.
Wow, I think the Sunshine Festival people will be overjoyed. Now, Boris, recently you released a remix of Tebra Rod. Can you tell us a little bit about how this track came to be?
Yeah, that's actually a funny story. The story started in Goa 1.5 years ago, and I was with my wife, and I went to the amazing Hilltop New Year's Eve festival, which is one of my favorite festivals on the planet, definitely. And we were just in a coffee there, and there was playing again a chill out track that that caught my attention. And then I checked who it is, and it was this guy Tebra. We never heard of him, but then we listened to all his music later. So it was a bit our soundtrack of that holidays in a way. And then this Rod track, when I heard these vocals, I was like, wow, this could be amazing trance track, an amazing psytrance banger actually. So I connected to the guy, and I found out that he was actually a psytrance producer before. I think Freak Frequencies was his psytrance name, and now he switched into this kind of organic techno style he did, or he's doing. And so I asked him if I can do a remix for that, and he sent me the files, and yeah, now it's just out. And man, it's the first time I ever released a track that I wasn't able to play on a dance floor before the release. So, but I got so much good response from my DJ friends, and now finally I hope I can play it again for the first time soon. So that's a bit of the story of that.
Awesome. Okay, so the next question I definitely wanted to get in before we wrap up in about 10 minutes. And this question is almost impossible to answer, I think, which is why I definitely am going to try to ask it here. How would you define psychedelic? How would you explain it?
Tsuyoshi, you want to start?
Yes. Well, as I said in earlier, I think it's my, like, personally, the psychedelic means for me, it's like kind of a human conscious. It's more natural things that people could just relate to, and the connection to the world. I think it's kind of the bridge of the connected to the real world. This is my kind of psychedelic definition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Boris, Dr. Boris?
Dr. Boris?
Well, it has a lot of meanings. I mean, first of all, it's the name of our favorite music style. And well, psychedelic, I mean, it has to do in its original definition with psychotropic plants. So for me, the core is about mind or general consciousness expansion. Yeah. This is the core of psychedelic. And well, like I said, I figured out that there's a lot of healing potential also in psychedelic states. And I'm a big fan of the work from Stanislav Grof. I don't know if you know this guy. He did LSD therapy in America for many, many years legally. And he wrote like zillions of books. And he has really lots of amazing stuff that he brought into psychedelic research. in trauma therapy on so many levels. I mean, really amazing stuff. And of course, it can be also really fun just to go on a party. And but yeah, I think there's a lot of potential in this and on many levels. And yeah, psychedelic is it's a big word with a lot of meaning.
Big word, yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So much has happened across the globe over the past 2 years. What do you think personally is the number one thing that we must do to pass hope on to the next generation? Anyone can go first.
Next generation.
How can we pass on hope to the next generation? What do we have to do?
Number one thing is human.
Number one thing, yeah.
What do you think of Dr. Boris?
Dr. Boris.
Well, I think one really, like I said before, moving from competition to cooperation. Exactly. I think that's, I mean, if we see how much money we waste on war, only that, if we use that money for cooperation and for good things, maybe even all problems would be solved already. I mean, that's, so we are, and on a personal level, we are all still kind of stuck in our egos, and we think we need to protect something, and there's an enemy out there we need to fight. And this needs to develop to the next level, and yeah, to cooperation and friendship. This is my hope. And yeah, it's this is the one thing we really at here. And I have kids myself, and I'm taking, I mean, they're big already, they are beyond 20 years old, but still in the corona now, they need, you know, a lot of care, and we need to see how to bring them through these hard times, you know, without too much harm. And yeah, we all need to be, that's, I think, all we can do to learn, become friends on a personal level, on a, you know, on a country level, and on a global level in the end of the day.
Bravo.
I totally agree.
All right. Well, let's end this section on a lighter note. Do you have any favorite quotes from anyone? It could be real or fictional. Is there anything that a quote?
It should be like 2-3 words. It's more than that.
It could be anything.
I could say one word, just like it says respect each other.
Nice.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
So yeah. No war, no fight.
Yeah.
Operation, as that Dr. Boris said.
Well, the first thing comes in mind is words from Gandhi. I think he said, "Be the change you want to see in the world." Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, I'd like to wrap this up in a little bit, but before we go, Boris, what can we look forward to in this special virtual set that you'll be putting together for us?
First of all, I'm so happy about this invitation for the set, and actually the set also brought a lot of inspiration for me. I mean, for me, it's the first time I'm invited for this kind of virtual DJ set. And I was reflecting a little bit on this, like, wow, I mean, I have the possibility now to create something for a club which is thousands of kilometers away. And I'm also personally really, like, my ecological footprint with all the flying sometimes is really bugs me, because we are really in a crisis on this planet, and everybody needs to think what they do and how they act. And as a DJ now, when I flew to a different country far away and using, you know, all the fuel in the plane, and there were only a few people, I really felt bad. So I was really thinking, how could it be in the future? Like, for example, a party with 100 people. I mean, there would be amazing possibilities if we are really managing to, you know, do more of this virtual things in a way. So I'm very, very, very excited, because this is the first thing. And I'm very sure this will be part of the future. I see already maybe possibilities that there are recording booths in certain cities where the DJs can go and then stream everywhere in the world, and people can connect in there. I'm pretty sure that this is something that will come on some point. it will not replace the original appearance of an artist. I mean, this is not a question, but I love this idea and I'm so happy about this. And what you can expect, I will put all the music from the new album, a few really cool hits, but it's gonna be my new album is really now in the pipeline to be released towards the September, October, we're aiming now. So I have lots of new music to play and I will put together the most amazing, freshest set I can to bring you the best experience.
Wow, what an absolute honor. Thank you. And
Great.
Tsuyoshi, could we get a message from you to your many Japanese fans?
Well, actually, it's instead of just giving it a message to the audience, I'm just kind of totally looking forward to Dr. Boris's battle set. Actually, you know what I mean? It's just I'm really looking forward to it, and then also looking forward to listening to the Dr. Boris's new album, new stuff, and everything. You know what I mean? So.
All right. Well, we're almost out of time, so I guess we're just going to wrap this up right here. Thanks everyone for tuning in, and thank you, Boris, Tsuyoshi, for agreeing to do this interview.
Thank you too.
Yeah, it's going to be great, and catch the next huge party, ageHa Summer Opening Party 2021, this July 3rd, featuring a virtual set from Electric Universe, filled with lots of new music from his new album currently, and Tsuyoshi Suzuki, Cylon, and a lot of other Japanese stars. Can't wait to see you there. Once again, thanks, guys, and thanks everyone at home. See you soon.
Thank you so much for initializing that, and big love to all my friends in Japan.
Thank you so much, Boris-san. I hope to catch up soon in the summertime in Europe, Berlin.
Yes, absolutely, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Arigato.